Hi, once again this is Ed from Exotic Blanks. Today we're going to be assembling the Cambridge from Berea. It's a fairly simple kit, but there's a couple of things that have confused some people apparently. So we start by taking all the parts out and dumping them into a plastic container so that we don't lose any springs or any of the rest of the stuff that's in that bag. Then we take out each of the individual parts from their individual baggies. I'll save you the pain of watching that. Here's the parts after they are released from their bags. That is the body of the pen. The first thing we want to do is take that nib section or nib coupler and push it into one end of the body of the pen. Now the pen that I'm using is a black and it has no pattern match. So if you are using something that has a pattern match, you want to pay attention to which end has to be the nib. Second thing to do is to take the back end, which is the decorative finial, and this is a three-part piece. There is a gold piece, the large piece, and then there is a silver piece that goes on to it, and another gold piece that goes on after that. So essentially you're putting together a decorative three-piece assembly. Again, we push that on and then put the gold top finial on it. At that point we can put the spring into the body and the refill into the body and then close it up with the nib, and that completes the pen half of it. Now we move on to the cap half. The first thing that you want to do with the cap is put on the center band. The center band again is similar to the finial piece in that there are three pieces that are decorative, but you do have the black piece. You want to put the gold over that black piece, over the thin side of it, and then bring the gold down over that black as I'm doing here. As you can see, I'm able to push the parts into the proper position with my fingers and push the silver piece on as well. This is all fitting quite tightly, and I can tell you that in the instructions on step 11 they will tell you to make a block with a 33/64 hole in it so that you can accomplish what we're doing here with my fingers. You can do that with a block of wood. It's probably much easier. This is what the center band should look like when it's finished. Well, not quite finished. You want to push it down over the black part completely down so that they're flush. And again, that piece of wood that they're suggesting would make that ever so much simpler. But either way you do it, the end goal is to get the gold piece, then the silver piece, then another gold piece, and then make that flush on the bottom and put that into your piece that is the cap. And again, remember to match the pattern in your wood or your resin if you have a pattern. The one that I'm using does not have a pattern. It's completely random. It's a little easier to work with. Last thing you want to do is put the cap on. That is a matter of taking the threaded piece and put it into the top of the cap, leaving it exposed, of course. Just press it down so that the shoulder is flush with the shoulder of your cap. Remember, there's a notch in this last piece. That's for the clip of the pen to go through. So you want to make sure that that notch is up, and then you put the clip of the pen over that. If you just screw it down and then align the clip with that notch, it's actually easier. I goofed around with this more than I really should have. If you just screw it down, and you'll see whether you're flush or not. If you're not flush, move the clip until you get it to go into the little notch that's provided for it. That's all there is to it. It's relatively simple. My fingers are in the way most of the time. Sorry about that. But you can see when we're all finished here, everything is tight. there are no gaps, and that's really what you're trying to achieve. Screw it together. Now the one thing that I did at the end of this, as you can see, there's a little bit of the tip of the pen showing at the center band. You can actually push that back together as long as you haven't done any adhesive. That spot above it and then the spots are all flush, but then that last spot, you can push that up a little bit and it will make it look a little bit cleaner. Like that. Now when you look at it, you won't see that top of the pen body at all. That's all there is to it. Hope you enjoyed it. This is Ed from Exotic Blanks. Once again, this was the Cambridge from Berea, and it's a nice pen, and it's available, of course, at Exotic Blanks. Thanks for watching. Bye now.